Hi, this is John with Remodeling Wizards. Today I'm out here looking at a deck. Homeowner called us in to see if there's any way we can repair the deck or if it needs to be totally replaced. Let me just show you some of the things we're finding out just in the one section. It's a two-layer deck. I'm on the lower level and I'm looking up above my head to see what's going on, what's holding the upper level up. So take a look over here against the house. You can see what they did here was that 2x4 that's bolted to the house, that's actually being used as a ledger board to hold the floor joist above it in place. Really not a good situation. It looks like it's coming loose. The bolts aren't really tight. Using a 2x4 ledger board in this situation is not a good idea. There really should be a 2x10 up against the wall, bolted in properly, and then have some metal connectors, they call them buckets or joist hangers that would wrap around the bottom of each one of those joists and attach it to the ledger board. You can notice a lot of rot up here. So what's going on, as you can see, if you come over this way a little bit, maybe look in this different direction, you can see floor joists that were originally in place. It looks to me like this floor joist that's broken probably is cantilevered into the house. So it was a floor joist that goes all the way through the house, and that's what gave it support originally. But that floor joist rotted over time. Now that it's gone, someone came back in here, put a new floor joist, and just rested it on the 2x4 ledger board. So very unsafe condition. In a situation like this, let me show you something over here too. You see these joists here, how they come to the end and then they connect to these double 2x10s. There should be metal connectors on there that will keep it secure so it's not going to want to fall off. So we have that going on here. Let's take a look down here at the steps. There's so many things to see here. These steps should have stringers. This particular board right here, that's called a stringer. It's usually a 2x12 that's notched out, holds up the treads, but there's nothing at all in the center. There's only one on either end. It's really not strong enough to hold the stairs in place. So the stairs are going to have a lot of bounce on them. So this whole thing needs to be torn out, replaced. The other thing that's missing here, I'll walk around the camera a little bit. There's no rise in here. So you have an open gap. This is an unsafe situation. Like a child can actually fall through the hole. This side, these rails that are in place here, again, unsafe. Too much of a gap. Typically what you would do is you would have 2x2s over here, like you have on this side, and they should only be spaced 4 inches apart. So one of the other things I want to look at is the railings, the handrails. These rails here, again, there's a code about spacing. From rail to rail, it should be less than 4 inches. This particular rail spacing here, you can see it's about 5.5. So again, this is an unsafe situation here with the rails themselves. This is the same thing as on the other side. I mean, this is okay for a temporary rail, but this is not how you build a deck. The quarter, the 6x6 actually, it's probably one of the few things on the deck that's holding it up. But if you look up top here, this is the beam. You have it's like a 2x10 or actually it looks like it's a 2x12. So you have a 2x12 and a 2x12. This is how they used to build decks. You put a 2x12 against a 6x6, put a couple bolts in it, put one on the other side. We don't do that anymore. Now what we do is we take the two 2x12s, put them together, and then notch out the top of the 6x6 and rest them on the 6x6. We don't rely on the bolts to hold them in place. And the other important thing is, if there's two separate 2x12 beams, they work independent of one another. Whereas if you put them together, it becomes much stronger because now they work as a joint, a force together, and it basically increases the strength so you can carry more of a load. So anyway, these are a couple things I'm looking at. To be honest with you, when I talked to the homeowner, she asked me to come out to see if this deck could be repaired. I'm going to have to say no. Many times we can do repairs, we can add some support. It would be a waste of money because it would need so much. It's just better to tear this deck down, and to start over. But thanks for listening.